Hello everyone. Today in this class we are going to discuss about class 12 geography, chapter number 5, and the name of the chapter is called primary activities. So here in this class we are going to discuss the remaining parts of this chapter, that is part 2, plantation agriculture. First thing is we need to know the meaning of plantation agriculture. Plantation agriculture, it is a cultivation of tree crops such as tea, coffee, rubbers. Mainly for cultivation of these crops, tree crops are done mainly for commercial purposes. So that is called plantation agriculture. So the plantation agriculture, it is introduced by Europeans. So here we have a red box. Inside the red box we have European countries. So plantation agriculture is first introduced by Europeans, such as French, Dutch, Portuguese. So these are some of the important European countries. So these European countries, they introduced the cultivation of plantation crops or agriculture in their colonies. So mostly the colonies are located in the tropical region. So tropical region means we are uh, talking about in between those countries which are located in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So in between these two we have many countries. We have countries from Africa, from Asian, South Asia and Southeast Asian Asia, and some of the Latin American and South American countries. So plantation agriculture is introduced by European countries in their colonies. So mostly their colonies are located in the tropical regions. So that is the plantation agriculture was first introduced by Europeans in their colonies. Mostly their colonies are located in the tropical region. Some of the important plantation crops examples are important plantation crops, and the examples are tea, coffee. So this is the coffee. From here we will get coffee beans. Coca is mostly we are using cocoa powder for making chocolate and other food, and rubber, cotton and banana. So these are some of the examples of plantation crops. So characteristics of plantation agriculture. First characteristic is large estate or area for plantation. So in order to practice plantation agriculture, we need a very large estate or a large area for the cultivation of plantation crops. Large area. And the second characteristics of plantation agriculture is large capital investment. That means in order to practice such type of uh, agriculture, we need to spend huge amount of money. We have to spend huge amount of money in order to practice these types of agriculture. So large capital investment means we have to spend huge sum of money in order to practice the plantation agriculture. So mostly the third characteristic is mostly plantation agriculture is specialized in single crop specialization, or in short we can say monoculture. That means mostly if we study about the characteristics of plantation agriculture, mostly they are cultivating only one crops. Tea means tea, rubber means rubber. That means monoculture. They are specialized in cultivation of only one crops on a large estate or a particular land, farming land. They need a very cheap labor. In order to practice, in order to do plantation agriculture. We need a very cheap labor. Why means because we have to compete the product in international market. So in order to compete in international market, we need a very cheap labor. Third one is, fifth one is in order to practice plantation agriculture, we need a very good transportation, a good system of transportation should be linking with the state to factory and market to the export. So why means since plantation agriculture mostly the products or the raw materials are perishable in nature. So in order to uh, so because of that characteristics, we need a very good transportation link from estate or of estate, we can say farming land to factories, from factory to market. Why means because mostly the plantation agricultures are perishable in nature. Because of that reason, we need a very good transportation system. Distribution: coca and coca and coffee plantation in West Africa. So in West Africa established by French. So West Africa. So these here we have Africa. So these are the African countries. So coca and coffee plantation in West Africa. West Africa means we can say these regions, these African countries. These African countries are called West African countries. So here the cultivation of coca and coffee in West Africa, cultivation of these two crops are introduced by French. So French is here, right? So French, that is in Europe. Then tea in Sri Lanka and India. Tea in India and Sri Lanka, again it is introduced by British to India and Sri Lanka. Cultivation of sugarcane and banana in West Indies. So here we have many island nations. So these island nations are called West Indies. So sugarcane and banana cultivation in West Indies. Again, cultivation of sugarcane and banana in West Indies is introduced by European countries. So mostly, if you look at the countries, most of these countries are located in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So that means cultivation of plantation agriculture is first introduced by Europeans to the colonies. So most of their colonies are located in between Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. Because of that, these countries are called also called tropical countries. Next type of agriculture is extensive commercial grain cultivation. So first thing is from this um, agriculture, we need to know first thing is extensive. What is meant by extensive? So extensive means here means large. Large in the sense means we are talking about the size of farming land is very large. Size of the agricultural land is very large. Because of that, extensive. Commercial, mainly they are cultivating mainly for commercial purpose. What they are cultivating for commercial purpose means mostly grains. Grains means we are talking about wheat, barley, oat and rye. These are called grains. So extensive commercial grain cultivation means cultivation of grains mainly for commercial purposes on a very large agricultural land, that is called extensive commercial grain cultivation. So mostly extensive commercial grain cultivation is practiced in mid latitude. So here we have high latitude, here we have high latitude, near to the polar regions are called high latitude. In between Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn is we can say low latitude near to equator, and between 23 to 45 north latitude and south latitude we can say mid latitude. So in between these, so those countries which are located in between these two latitude zones are called mid latitude. ML means mid latitudes. So practice mostly extensive commercial grain cultivation is mostly practiced in mid latitude regions. Here Canada, America, Eurasia, Argentina, Africa, and some of the Australian southern part of Australia. So mostly these cultivations of the cultivation of grain mainly for commercial purposes are mainly practiced in the mid latitude zones or the regions. So here wheat is the main crop for the cultivation. So here the cultivation of wheat is the main crop for cultivation. So other than wheat, what they are cultivating? They are cultivating crops such as corn, barley, oat, rye are also grown. So here they are cultivating wheat, they are cultivating corn, They are cultivating barley, they are cultivating oat, and they are also cultivating rice. So these are the some of the examples of grains that they are cultivating in the extensive commercial grain cultivation. So here farms are very large. So here extensive means, so we already discussed extensive commercial grain cultivation. So here the size of the farming land is very large. If you look at the image, size of the agricultural land is very large. And mostly these type of agriculture, they are highly mechanized, means they are using many machines in order to do the agricultural activities, in order to do agricultural operations. Here, one another characteristic is low yield per hectare production. Here, as compared to intensive agriculture, intensive we already discussed what is meant by intensive agriculture and its characteristic in the part 1 of this chapter. So here, as compared to intensive subsistence agriculture, here low yield per hectare production. So here, since they are cultivating only once a year, that means per year production from the agricultural land is low, but high yield per capita. Capita means per head. So if we look at the image here, two men, one man and two men. These two men are driving. One is driving the multiple harvesting machine, and another one is driving the tractors. So these two machines are capable of doing more than 50% workload, 50% or 50 people's workload. Because of that, here only two people are doing agriculture activities. So if we divide per head 2% from this agriculture production, means the per head production here is very high as compared to intensive types of agriculture. Why? Means in intensive type of agriculture, mostly the agriculture activities are done with help of family labors or family members. So this is the image that, but this particular image shows extensive commercial grain cultivation. If we look at the image here, the size of agricultural land is very large or a big. So mostly this type of, again this is another image of extensive commercial grain cultivation. So here mostly these type of agriculture activities are practiced in a very low rainfall regions of the world. So we can say semi-arid regions of the world. Why? And they are cultivating wheat, because in order to grow wheat we need a very less amount of water. What wheat can grow in a very less amount of soil moisture. Because of that, they are cultivating in the semi-arid and low rainfall regions. So mostly extensive commercial um, agriculture is practicing in an area where there is a very low rainfall. They are receiving very low rainfall, and we can also say semi-arid regions of the world. Mixed farming, third type of agriculture is mixed farming. So mixed means two, they are doing two activities together. So when the crop cultivation and livestock rearings, animal rearings is practiced together, it is called mixed farming. So as compared to extensive and as compared to intensive, here the farming land are moderate in size, not too much small as like intensive agriculture, and not too big like extensive type of agriculture. Here the farming land is moderate in size as compared to extensive and intensive type of agriculture. Major crops are, what type of crop they are cultivating? Barley, wheat, oat. Fodder crops means animal crops. Root crops, we can say potatoes, these are the root crops, etc. They are cultivating crops such as these, and they are rearing animals such as cattle. Cattle means cow, buffalo, like this. Sheep, pigs, and poultry means we can say chickens. So they are doing two activities together: cultivation of crops and rearing and grazing of animals together. Because of that, it is called mixed farming. So this is, in this particular image, tries to illustrate the characteristics of poultry farming. Poultry farming means chicken farming. So here another important characteristic in mixed farming is they are doing crop rotation. Crop rotation means every season they are cultivating different crop on a particular land. Why they are rotating the crop cultivation on the same field means in order to retain the soil fertility. So every plant the requirement of the nutrient is different. So mostly in plant, in order to grow plant, we have three main this one nutrients. They are NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So these requirements for every plants are different. So in order to maintain the balance, or in order to maintain the soil fertility, they are rotating the cultivation of crops seasonally or yearly. They are rotating the cultivation of crop. And another important thing is they are doing intercropping. Intercropping means cultivation of two crops at a same time on a same field during one season. That means they are cultivating two crops simultaneously in a particular agricultural land. That is called intercropping is also practiced. So that means they are practicing crop rotation as well as intercropping is also practicing. Here they are using extensive use of chemical fertilizers. So this is chemical fertilizers in order to make soil more fertile. This is chemical based, and this one is organic based. This one is called manures. So manures are mostly decomposed fertilizers of biodegradable waste such as vegetables, cow dungs. So if we decompose these biodegradable things, we will get manures. So we are using fertilizers and manures in order to uh, grow the crops in a better way. So mostly this type of agriculture is practiced in a very highly developed part of the world, such as northwestern Europe, northeastern America, and Eurasia, some of the Eurasian part. So these are the region where people are practicing mixed farming. The fourth type of agriculture or farming is called dairy farming. So dairy farming, it is advanced. So here advanced means as compared to nomadic herding. And here they are rearing only milch based animals. So it is advanced and efficient. Efficient here means they are getting more output. Efficient type of rearing of milch animals. Milch animals mean and those animals which gives milks. So this type of dairy farming is more advanced and efficient type of rearing of milch animals. So here we have two images, image 1 and image 2. So this one is dairy farming, more advanced as compared to this. Here they are using milching machine. This way of milching is a traditional way. So dairy farming is more advanced and efficient as compared to this type of dairy farming. They are mostly rearing they are rearing only milch animals. Milch animals mean those animals which gives milks. Dairy farming. So the characteristics of dairy farmings are they are emphasis on cattle breeding. Cattle breeding means crossbreeding of male and female cattle in order to get better offspring. So this is cattle breeding. Healthcare and veterinaries in order to control the diseases and the illness of the animals. They are also using these things, healthcare and veterinary. In order to practice this type of dairy farming, it is highly labor means huge amount of people need in order to practice this type of agriculture, and very capital intensive. We have to spend huge sum of money in order to do this type of activity. So this type of farming is very labor as well as capital intensive. Dairy farming, most of the dairy farming they are practicing near to the urban regions, urban areas. Why means mostly they are selling their product to the urban peoples, their milks to the urban peoples, because urban people they also need to drink milk. They are also drinking milks. Because of that they are supplying milks to urban peoples. So most of the if we Study the characteristics of dairy farming. Most of the dairy farmings are located near to the urban and industrial centers. Industrial centers means dairy-based industries. So dairy-based industry means chocolates, butters, such type of industries are called dairy. Ice creams, chocolate, these type of industries are called dairy-based industries. So mostly dairy farming, they are practicing near to the urban areas of the world, cities and towns of the world, and industrial centers of the world, because they are supplying their product to these regions, urban regions and industrial centers, for their market. They need a very good transportation, refrigeration. This is called refrigeration, cooling down the milk temperature in order to maintain the in order to preserve the milk, and pasteurization, heating up and cooling down the milk in order to kill the pathogens inside the milk or the bacteria inside the milk. So these are the requirement in order to practice the dairy farming: good transportation, refrigeration, and pasteurization in order to preserve the uh, milk from adulterations and contaminations. Distributions: three main regions: northwestern Europe, Canada, Australia, Tasmania, and New Zealand. So these are the region where people are practicing dairy farming. Mediterranean farming. So we know that Mediterranean is the name of sea. So this particular sea is located here, north of Africa and south of Europe. So in between these two regions, we have a sea, a very very big sea. So name of this particular sea is called Mediterranean Sea. So Mediterranean farming. So this name is giving based on the name of sea. So this here, yeah, highly specialized commercial type of agriculture. So they are specialized in cultivation of what? Viticulture. Highly specialized in cultivation of viticulture or grape cultivation. So they are specialized in cultivation of viticulture or grapes. Same thing. Mainly for what? Commercial purposes. Specialized in farming, in this farming. So the cultivation of grape is specialized in this farming, and they are cultivating specialized in cultivation of grapes mainly for what? Commercial purposes. They are cultivated in Mediterranean region, both sides of the country. Both sides of the country means the southern European country and northern African countries. So around the Mediterranean region, we have European countries and as well as African countries. So in these around this region, they are cultivating, especially they are specialized in cultivation of what? Grapes or viticulture. Because of that, it is called Mediterranean farming. So Mediterranean farming, the cultivation of grapes around the Mediterranean region, it is called Mediterranean farming. This region is an important supplier of citrus fruit. So citrus fruit means those fruits such as lemon, orange, and this type of grapes. These, if we eat these fruits, it will give a very sharp taste. Because, and why they are giving very sharp taste means because it contains a citric acid. So such type of crops are called citrus fruits. So this region, Mediterranean region, is an important supplier of citrus fruits. Mostly they are supplying grapes. Apart from grapes, they are also supplying another citrus fruit also. Next is horticulture or market gardening. What is meant by horticulture or what is meant by market gardening? Means horticulture or market gardening means cultivation of vegetables, flowers, and fruits. These cultivation of flowers, vegetable, fruit, flowers are done mainly for whom means urban people. Why means those people living in urban, they are engaged with secondary and tertiary type of activities, but they need vegetables, fruit, and flowers in their daily life. Because of that, they are cultivating, especially they are cultivating vegetables, fruits, flowers mainly for urban people. So this type of agriculture is called horticulture or market gardening. So in a market gardening or horticulture, they are cultivating only three things: vegetables, flowers, and fruits. For whom means urban people, those people who are living in urban area. They are supplying for urban peoples. So here the size of the farming land is very very small, not that much big, and they are most of the horticulture or market gardening they are practicing near to the urban region, because since their main market is urban people or urban those people who are living in urban, because of that they are located near to the urban people, and they are located very close to a very good transportation link, because they need to sell these product in the they need to sell and they need to transport these products such as fruit, flowers and vegetables to urban people. Because of that they are located very close to the urban centers, and along with a very good transportation link, mostly roadways. This type of agriculture is very very labor and capital intensive. Labor, we know that they need a huge amount of people in order to do this type of agriculture, and we need to spend huge amount of money in order to practice this type of agriculture. Because of that it is called capital intensive. So here they are emphasis on what? Irrigation, taking water to the agricultural land. They are using fertilizers, they are using insecticides in order to kill the insects, they are using pesticides in order to kill the unwanted grasses, these those grasses which are growing along with the crops. So they, in order to kill these unwanted grasses, mostly weeds, they are using pesticides, and they are also using greenhouses, this type of structure, transparent structure. They are using these types of transparent structure in order to control the climatic condition, and in order to grow this crop in a more efficient way. Because of that they are using these type of structures. So these are the some of the characteristics of horticulture or market gardening. Next is truck farming. What is mean by truck farming? Means truck farming is a type of horticulture. Truck farming is a type of horticulture, but in truck farming they are specialized only in cultivation of vegetables only. In market gardening we are cultivating fruit, flowers and vegetables, but in truck farming they are cultivating mostly they are cultivating only vegetables. For whom means urban people, for commercial purposes. They main aim is same, commercial purposes. They are selling to whom means urban people. But here in truck farming they are cultivating only one item, that is called vegetables only. This is called truck farming. Why means truck can cover the distance from farm to the market in an overnight distance. Hence it is known as truck farming. So the location between the farming land and the city is an overnight distance. So that means truck can cover uh, from farming land to urban center and overnight, that means 12 hours distance. It is called truck farming because of that. And they are mostly transporting these vegetables with help of or by trucks. Because of that this is called truck farming. Distributions distributions, northwestern Europe, northeastern USA and Mediterranean regions. So the last part of or the last topic of this chapter is mining. So what is mean by mining? So mining is the process, continuous work or continuous activities of what? Extracting. So here extracting means we can say taking out or digging out of valuable metallic and non-metallics. Metallics, we have metallic such as iron, copper, like this, and non-metallic like we can say chalk, gypsum. This type of minerals are called non-metallics. So the mining is the process of extracting or taking out or digging out of valuable metallic and non-metallic minerals from the over earth's surface. It is called mining. The actual development of mining begins with the industrial revolution. So industrial revolution began in 19 started in 1750s in Europe, in England, and the actual development of mining began with the after the industrial revolution, that means after 1750s. and the importance of continuously increasing. So 1750s means from 18 1715s. So from 1715s, and the actual development of mining activities started from 1750s onwards after the Industrial Revolution. Factors affecting mining activities. So we have two factors: physical factors and economic factors. Physical factors such as size of the mineral deposit. So in some areas we have a very rich mineral deposit, but in some area the size of the mineral deposit is very small or very less. So usually if a particular region or area it has a huge or a rich mineral deposit, then possibility of mining activities is more. If the size of mineral is less or small, then usually mining activities will not take place. So that is called size of the mineral deposit. Then depth of the mineral deposit. Some minerals are located on the surface of the earth, but some minerals are located deep below our earth's surface. So usually and if deep below, in order to extract deep below earth those minerals which are located deep below earth, it is very difficult. So usually mining activities will not take place. Those minerals which are located deep below our earth deposit is very deep below our earth surface, and usually mining activities will take place those minerals which are located very close to our very near to our earth surfaces. So that is the second factor. Third factor is location of mineral deposit. Location here means some minerals are located in a very remote area or in a very inaccessible area where there is no roadway, railways. So but some minerals are those minerals are located on a very close to roadways, very close to railways. So usually mining activities will not take place those minerals which are located in a very remote or very inaccessible in a very inaccessible areas. Usually mining activities will take place those minerals which are located very close to our roadways or railway regions. Economic factors. Demand for the minerals. So we have many minerals uh, in our earth, but some minerals we have a very huge or high demand, such as um, iron, bauxite, coppers. So if the demand of the mineral is more, the mining activities will take place. If the demand of minerals are less, then mining activities will not take place. Availability of cheap labor. So in order to compete with the international market, they need a very cheap labor in order to do mining activities. So those region or country which, even though they has a very rich mineral resources, but the labor cost is very high, means then mining activities will not take place because they have to compete with the international market in order to sell the minerals. So this is the second economic factor. Then the third economic factor is availability of capital. Capital means man, machine, and money. So in order to mining activities, we need a huge amount of money. We need a human resources, and we need a machine in order to do mining activities. So those countries, mostly those countries which are very backward, then even though this country they have a very rich mineral resources, but mining activities will not take place because they lack or they have a very poor capital. They don't have much money, they don't have a technology, and they don't have a good human resources. Because of that, mining activities will not take places those countries which are economically very poor. So two types of mining. What are two types of mining? We have two types of mining. They are surface mining or underground mining, and the second type is uh, sorry, we have surface mining or open cast mining, and another type is called underground mining or the shaft mining. So surface mining, it is used when ore lies over the earth's surface. So surface mining means when extraction of mineral is done when the ore is lies very close to the earth's surface. That is called surface mining. So as compared to underground mining, Surface mining is more easy, more safe, and more cheap as compared to what? Underground mining. As compared to underground mining, surface mining is more easy to extract. It is more safe. No, this one leakage, water leakage problems. No, this one um, poisonous gases problems, and no roof collapse problems, and more cheap, because in underground water we have underground mining we have to dig tunnels. So these are the extra expenditures to do mining activities. So in the world, about 90% of mines are of this type. So in the world, most of the minerals are extracted through surface mining. 90% means only 10% are extracted with half of underground mining. Remaining 90% is done with half of surface mining. And we have two types of minerals, metallic and non-metallic mineral. 99%, almost 100% of non-metallics are evac, evac, uh, excavated from such mines or extracted from such mines means through surface mining. Underground mining or shaft mining, it is used when ore lies deep below the earth crust. It is called underground mining. When the extraction of or the taking out or the digging out of minerals are done, when the minerals are located in a very deep below earth crust or earth surface, that is called underground mining. So as compared to surface mining, underground mining is more risky. The roof of the mine may collapse. uh, Flood problem, poisonous gases problems like this. It is more costly because we have to make vertical and horizontal tunnels. So these are the extra expenditures, and it is more difficult as compared to surface mining. In this type of mining, they are making vertical and horizontal tunnels are made, and minerals are with brought by a lift system operating in the shaft. So these are the characteristics of underground mining. Thank you.